Alright guys, welcome to the What's in the Bag review for the week. So let's just get right into it. I am going to let you guys know there are no cards this week. Taking a break from that because I have a lot of organizing to do. So we're going to go through and see what we got. So since there's no Star Wars book coming out for another month, picked up The Mighty Chewbacca and the Forest of Fear. Haven't read that yet, even though it's a kid's book, it's still canon. We got George Costanza for the pop. And then for the comic this week, War of the Bounty Hunters number 13. Read it already. It was great to kind of see Chewie fight Valis, and Valis kind of explain himself when Han and Chewie saw him last. Give it a 5 out of 5. We got the Clone Wars clone pilot Hawk. That was a lucky grab by me because I was actually going to pick up this, the Jurassic World Velociraptor, or Jurassic Park Lost World, sorry. I also got Bill and Ted 2-pack, so the third one's not in here, but the first two are. Got that for pretty cheap. We got Xailing. Got that one, I got my comic. The last part of the movie stuff that's out right now with Jazz. Batmobile Hot Wheel. The knockoff Tyranitar. Got that because I got a shiny Duraludon on Pokemon. And our Christmas Trooper. And that is it, so let's take a look at what everything looks like out of the bag. Alright, so unlike usual, we're not going into the cards, we're going to go right into the figures. But I just want to show everything off all together and do the new tradition we started last week, taking the Hot Wheel out for you guys. And it's pretty nice, I like it. A little jingly. But yeah, so let's get into the figures. Alright guys, so we got a lot to do today. There's actually 2 more figures added in with the Build-A-Figure and the Tony Stark that I did add in last minute. So we're going to do George first, then we're actually going to do Star Wars next since we don't have a lot of Star Wars, then Jurassic Park for same thing. Then we're going to do the 3 Marvel figures, then we're going to do Jazz. So let's get into it. So here is George Costanza, who's honestly my second favorite character for Seinfeld, Kramer being the first, but I could not find Kramer. Standing at about 3.5 inches. Just quick 360. Of course, the detail's amazing on these pops. And it is not a bobblehead, it is a regular head. But yeah, I really like it. No superhero, no Pokemon, no Star Wars though. I do like the detail of the hand in the pocket. I give it a 3 out of 5. So let's move on to the... So here is Star Wars The Black Series Hawk. Quick 360 of him. This is a Target exclusive, and it actually comes in a Clone Wars old school pack, just like Echo and Anakin did. But comes in about 6 inches, and comes with just 1 blaster. Let's show articulation really quick. His head is a little tight due to the air pack right there. Arms can twist all the way around, fold up. Hands can twist as well. Next would be his torso, which can go 360 up and down. His legs are sort of limited just due to the fact that clone plating. And then his knees can fold in, his feet can move around. I will say, compared to the other 2 figures that I already got in this wave, this is my least favorite of the 3. It's still cool to have it, but just not as nice as Echo. So I do have to give Hawk a 6 out of 10. Just happy I was lucky enough to pick him up. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. So I promised more Velociraptors, and here we go. We got the Lost World of Jurassic Park one, and its length is 1 foot. Height is 4 inches. Well, from its torso, the height is actually 5.5 inches. So, as I mentioned with Delta, the tail does move, and actually is a soft rubber, so it can pose however you want it. The head is the next thing we'll talk about. The neck can turn like that. Head can turn with it, up and down, and the mouth can open using both the jaw and the upper head. Arms can move fairly well here, and the elbow joint and the claw joint are very loose, so they're able to do that. Legs can move out and go 360, and the upper knee and lower shin can move and rotate, and so can his foot. And actually, didn't realize this, the claw on the foot can move too. So it also came with a stand. Looks different than the Jurassic World stand, and it actually is a posable stand, so it can do whatever pose you want it to do. So yeah, that is the Lost World Jurassic Park Velociraptor. I am gonna rank it out of 10. I give it about a 7 out of 10. It's the same as Echo and Delta, and it's just a little less recognizable because they have such a small scene in the Lost World. But yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, and here's the Xailing figure. Let's do a quick 360 on that. And let's measure her out before we get into this. She is about 5 3/4 inches, and her accessories are the little dagger and rope, or the scorpion weapon I like to call it, and many hands. I think these aren't even all the hands in there, but yeah, so very nice looking MCU figure. I don't think I've really seen the actress to see the likeness here, but let's look at rotation. Head can move up and down and around. Arms can go 360, and so can elbows. And hands are very movable too. Same with torso. Very posable figure, especially since it's doing like martial arts and everything like that. We're able to pose it very well because we're going to have it do some insane movements and stuff like that. So let's rank her. She is the hardest to find in the set, I've come to realize, but I was able to snag her at the comic book store. So let's give her a ranking. I give her a 7 out of 10. Very nice posability, just I don't know the character as well to be able to give it a solid higher score. So let's move on to, and here we have AI Tony Stark. Do a quick 360 on that, and measure it out and show the accessories. It's about 6 1/3 inches tall, and his accessories were some open hands, the energy blast, and a helmet. So I will say I love the see-through blue for the AI head on this, and also the armor altogether just looks really nice. So let's do articulation really quick. Can move his arms and head around as normal, can move his elbows, twist his hand, and torso can go up and down. Bottom torso can twist, and his legs are able to basically go about that far, and feet are able to move too. So let's talk about what I think about the figure. This is honestly probably the nicest figure in the wave. No spoilers on who's my favorite on this, but he's up there. We'll find out in a minute anyways who my favorite is. But just the sculpting on it's just great. I love it, and I don't think I have a Iron Man armor that's similar to this. Even with the helmet on, this thing looks nice. The only thing is, and I know it's supposed to be bright like this, so I'm not going to officially complain about it, but the colors kind of make it look like a McDonald's toy, but that's not an official complaint because I know it's supposed to be bright like that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the final figure of this wave. Alright, and here's our last Marvel figure of this wave, and today being the Build-A-Figure of Mr. Hyde. So let's measure him out first. He comes in about 8.5 inches, and quick 360 of him. So, his articulation as well. His head's a little limited due to the jacket, but can pop right off when you do 360, so be careful on that. Another thing that I noticed was his legs are kind of hard to put in, but they move just fine. And again, a little limited due to the jacket. It's about as far as they can go. And no torso movement, but his arms can go 360 and bend, and his hands can turn around. Came with no extra pieces or accessories. So let's talk about the Build-A-Figure really quick, then we'll talk about the entire wave. The only thing I know about Mr. Hyde is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know him as well as probably most comic book fans will. I don't know what he has to do with Shang-Chi, but yeah. I like the jacket, I like the sculpt work. It feels like we're using Kingpin kind of for the torso. And the legs, but still, it's a nice figure. Now let's talk about the way, ranking him. Out of 15, I give him about a 13, or 12, more like a 12. So let's talk about the wave now. So I'm going to rank everybody, I'm going to talk about the wave as a whole, and then I'm going to rank it. So the 4 movie figures that you get with it, I think all of them look phenomenal, especially Death Dealer. But for the video game wave, I have to say I was so excited to get the Civil Warrior figure. Really like it. The comic wave, this Tony Stark's amazing. So let's rank them. So I'm going to go from favorite to least favorite. So favorite's Death Dealer, followed by Civil Warrior, then Tony Stark, then Shang-Chi, then Xailing, Wenwu. Then honestly, Mr. Hyde's coming in the last just because the movement's a little weird and barely know him. So yeah, there we go. That is the Shang-Chi wave. Let's move on to Jazz. Alright, and here's the Studio Series Jazz, which funny enough, with a lot of the finishing up this week, this is actually the last of the Studio Series first wave of the movie stuff that I got finished. So it's actually really nice that we're able to wrap up a lot of stuff this week. But the mind of a collector never ends. So let's transform him for you guys. Here he is in his white Porsche form. So what we're going to do is, first things first, we're going to open the doors like a DeLorean, and we're going to pull up on the entire windshield, fold in the back, and by windshield I meant hood, sorry. We're going to fold in the back and then fold in the doors on top of that. It's just going to make it easier for later. We're going to move the hands over and fold them out like so. And then actually should have come with a paper clip because his hands are really hard to get to. So let's fix that really quick. Gotta take out his hands. Like so. And then you're going to fold in this front piece and then flip out his head. And you got one other thing to do. You gotta rotate just this front piece. It's a little tight, so it's kind of hard to do that around, and then you want to fold that down and that down like that, and then just fold his hands forward, and there's the upper torso of Jazz. Once I zoom out here, there's the upper torso of Jazz. Then you want to separate the legs, fold over the wheel, and then they should come down fairly easy. Same with coming up. And then you fold that out, and there's the feet. Alright, so let's adjust the camera. and show Jazz. So here's Jazz. His one accessory is his blaster right here. Let's put it in his hand for now. His height is about 5 inches. Quick 360. Very nice looking. What I really like about these Studio Series figures is that the kibble on the back is actually either not that bad or accurate to the movie. And I think Jazz is actually accurate to the movie. So let's do articulation. Head can go 360. Arms can go all the way around and fold up. Hands don't move. Torso can move. Legs can do the splits and fold back. And that's basically about it for articulation. So, out of the entire wave, I have to say Grimlock is my favorite. Jazz is kind of in the middle. I honestly think Blur's my least favorite of it, but Jazz is definitely in the lower middle, which stinks because Jazz is one of my favorite Transformers. But yeah, so let's rank this guy. Out of 10, I give him about a 6, just because they could have chosen like Cyclonus or somebody newer, RC or Springer or something, instead of a character that kind of just shows up in the movie, does a little bit of stuff, and then I think we barely see him in season 3. So yeah, let's wrap this up. Alright, so here's everybody again. If you guys enjoyed this review or were wondering what these characters looked like in different poses and with other figures, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, where we'll be showcasing each of them every single day. So make sure you jump on that and follow me on Instagram as well as my other social media. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Links to all that is down below in the description. It's that nerd Ryan telling you, I got a lot of positioning to do.